We've got a few questions lined up, a few different topics. I think the obvious place to start would be your sort of journey with Liverpool and all things that. How, obviously 12 years being at the club, how do you sort of reflect on that? I mean, you must have some amazing stories to tell, met some amazing people. How has that journey been for you?
Reflecting, especially over time that you've spent somewhere for over a decade, it's I'm still reflecting now, if I'm honest, but I've done a lot of reflecting with my mentor, looking at the highs, looking at the lows, looking at the challenges. I'm just so grateful for my journey, really. I grew up at Liverpool, big Liverpool fan as well from a little girl, so the journey's been surreal, and I've had some surreal moments, which you two will have been a part of, which is great why I'm chatting to you two today. But I've worked at every strand in our women's section, which is a unique position to be in, because you get a real understanding of what it takes to be the next Niamh Charles, that's sacrificed so much time training in the evening, studying in the day, going away on international duty. I've worked in the international setup as well, so I've had experience of seeing girls prepping for playing Italy in a semi-final, and then also that morning prepping for their GCSEs away from home in Lithuania. So the journey's been incredible. Working across the youth section was something that I was passionate about, certainly at Liverpool, developing players to play on that WSL platform, and I think that's one of the highlights, is seeing players progress. And I think I'm the only WSL manager that has worked with an 8-year-old and then signed them at the senior squad whilst being at the same club. So that's been an honour, and that's been something that I've been privileged to do. I've done the grunt work. I've worked in the LFC Foundation. I think that journey there was absolutely incredible for me. I met some incredible people. I worked across different departments at the club, so I'll have friends for life. And when I exited the club, all those people reached out to me from the commercial team, LFC TV, LFC Foundation, of course, the partnerships, and the support and the love that was shown when I exited the club was quite overwhelming. Had presents delivered, flowers delivered, messages from players. It was quite an emotional time, because it was like going through a breakup. But again, my love for the club will never change, and the memories that I've had there will certainly stay with me forever. And the fact that I've coached the LFC legends to prep them to play Real Madrid in the charity match at Anfield, I think I was about 25. I'd had my A licence, I was working with England, and they asked me if I'd coached the LFC legends. And I remember driving to the academy, and it was mad, because I'd seen the players that would be there, Gerrard, Carragher, Michael Owen, just the list. Ian Rush was there, Jason McAteer, all these players. And I turned up at the academy, and I was quite nervous, actually, because how am I going to gain respect from these people that were my idols when I was a young girl? Some of them I had as Premier League stickers in the playground. Did you have Premier League stickers, by the way?
So we had like match attacks, wasn't it? Stuff like that.
Nah, they were after. No, I was too old for match attacks. It was Premier League sticker albums. So I'm walking into the training ground. Fantastic opportunity that the club give me, and I'm taking a session with that calibre of players that I used to idol. And the session the intensity was through the roof. It was like they were young lads again at Melwood playing. I'll never forget this moment will live with me forever. Ian Rush was stood in the session in bright red boots. He was supposed to be coaching the session with me, but he joined it. Bright red Nike boots, like they were shiny. And we got him into the small-sided game, and he was stood like just outside the box, and he looked like a mannequin, because he didn't really move. And I was like, he's probably just a bit old and like just wants to feel a part of it. And Jason McAteer whipped this ball across into the box, and Rushy just hit this ball on the full volley, and it went into the top corner, and the place just erupted. The lads went wild, I went wild. It was just like one of those surreal moments that happened in a session that I was in. And then I was fortunate enough to be in the technical area with Rushy when it was a sold-out stadium for that charity match. So there's moments like that I forgot about, because I was so consumed being the LFC women's manager. Yeah. But my journey at the club has just been so surreal, and you two would have been a part of us playing at Anfield in front of 23,000 fans. I think that was just that'll be an inspiration to me, because not the fact that I got to see my team walk out onto the pitch, but hearing the iconic song "You Never Walk Alone," and we've seen it when the fans come back this season, and there was only 2,000 fans in the Kop, how loud they were. So 23,000 for us at the women's game was really big, and it sounded so loud stood in the technical area. But like for the women's game, how good was that? Like that was the big achievement. The fact that I think that inspired me to think, wow, how great is this game going to be? One, when we're allowed fans back into stands. And we will see, I think we will see fans, that many fans at stadiums in the future watching Women's Super League games. So that was a real inspiration for me, and a surreal moment as well, to be in those dressing rooms taking my team talk, leading the girls out in a Merseyside derby. I could talk all day about the journey because there's so many things that I've done. The men's pre-season tour, travelled with Jurgen 4 times. America, we went 3 times. Hong Kong, we played in the Premier League Asia Trophy, which we went and won. And I've seen his sessions and seen him up close in action. So for me, as part of my development, that's been incredible. So I've been very, very lucky, and that's why I'll only ever have positive things to say about the club.
Yeah. Would you say that the derby at Anfield, the women's derby, was probably one of your biggest highlights as the women's manager?
You know what? Yes, it's definitely up there. And I was thinking about what was my biggest highlights when I was the manager. But I think, when we've punched above our weight and got points from teams that on paper, people saying now we don't have world-class players. But when we beat United, I think that's up there because a 3-1 win, and it's the calibre of players, and Casey's a fantastic manager. She's built an incredible team. But we installed belief in the players had belief, the way that they carried themselves. We had a real clear game plan how we were going to establish control of the game without the ball. We knew they had Tobin Heath. We knew they had Kristen Press. And then they've got Leah Galton, Lauren James and Alatoon. They're just a fantastic team. And the fact that we walked away with a 3-1 win. And I think there was like 700,000 people that tuned in to watch on Liverpool TV because obviously we couldn't have fans in. For me, I think that's up there as well with one of the proudest moments and surreal moments, that we actually went on, we stuck to the game plan, and we got a fantastic result against a fantastic team. And then probably Chelsea when we drew at Prenton. I know the pitch.
I was thinking about that one. Just thinking about that then. It was amazing.
But it was just because the type of players that we're up against, and you've got to give credit to our players, the way that they shown so much grit, determination and discipline, because if you don't move at the right time when that ball's travelling, when you're up against quality players like that can play off 1 or 2 touches, you're in trouble. The ball's going in the back of your net. And we ground that out. We really did, in poor conditions as well, because the pitch was horrendous. And I remember there was 6 minutes extra time, and that 6 minutes felt like a lifetime. I don't know if you was in the stands watching that game.
Yeah, we were.
You were. So you can vouch for me. I was in the technical area. The board went up 6 minutes, and I'm just thinking, 6 minutes. They went to a back 3. Millie Bright got pushed up. They were going more direct, and we were defending for our lives. Sophie Bradley-Oakman was like caked in mud. So was Roby. It was just like, it was just a mud bath, but it was just a real fought battle to take a point. And that was funny because that's the season Chelsea won the league and we got relegated. So to take a point off the champions was incredible. And the type of team they are, going on a 32, winning streak. And we managed to take a bit off that. But they're good moments that I'm really, really lucky to have with those players. So and fans.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this clip of our interview with Vicky Jepson.
If you want to watch the full interview, please head over to our channel, RMT Women's Podcast, where you'll find everything you need to know about Liverpool Women. And if you want, make sure you subscribe.